Welcome to WePromo VIP, where we chat with top suppliers and industry insiders to bring you the latest in promotional products. Let's dive in.
If you are familiar with brands like Journalbooks, Bullet, Leeds, Trimark, then you are already familiar with PCNA. PCNA is a powerhouse in the promotional product space. And whether you're brand new to promotional products or you are a veteran, I think you're going to be really excited to find out all the new stuff that PCNA has for us. From pens to polos, we've got Emily Douglas with us to give us the scoop on what's going on with PCNA. Emily, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Marty. I really appreciate it, and I'm super appreciative of the opportunity to chat today.
Well, I just want to jump straight into the breadth. All of the different things that you can get through PCNA. Some people might say it's a one-stop shop, but it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially if you're just getting started. What would you say to the distributor that's just getting started? Maybe it's a printer or a decorator or somebody who's just decided, I'm going to finally get into the promo space. What would you say to them about how PCNA can help them?
Yeah, absolutely. So PCNA is one of the largest hard goods suppliers in the industry. We are a bit of a general supplier, meaning we carry all of the categories that you prior mentioned. But it's really about starting somewhere. So we try to be the best in every category. It's something that we think is a tool in our toolbox, is that we have product developers who are domestic here in the United States and really create the life cycle of a product and are responsible for categories. So we are tasked with creating the best journals within the stationery category, the best power banks within the technology category, the best apparel in the industry, and really combining that with decoration. And so if you're just starting out, my recommendation is to really work with us to understand a couple of different facets of the business. One, best sellers. These are items that move and that your suppliers really put an emphasis on inventory of, because those vertical markets, your end users purchase that product. Another is new products. So we commit a portion of our new product development each season, if you will, in the new category. It's a question that we get almost every season over the last, it's timeless, of the what's new question. And so you'll always see a freshness of items that are trend based, and then really different things that you may not think of or you may not sell. So if you're seasoned or you're new, perhaps it's a category that you're not familiar with, or it's an opportunity to add a revenue stream. But PCNA is really here to partner with you in your journey of selling promo.
Well, I'm glad that you've got these experts in each of these different categories that know what they're doing. And talk a little bit about the different brands inside of PCNA. Leeds,
Absolutely.
Journalbooks, Trimark.
Yeah, for sure. So our flagship brand is Leeds. You're probably the most familiar. We typically see our audience, our distributors, the most familiar with Leeds. We house the majority of our retail brand partnerships at Leeds. So if you've heard of Stanley or Hydro Flask, Herschel, we've got over 50 retail brands that we work with, and most of them are housed under the Leeds brand. You typically think of Leeds as a higher price point item, but there's quite a bit of variety. And so we do all of the categories: bags, drinkware, stationery, home gifts, technology. All of those are available at Leeds. Leeds is headquartered right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where we ship out of. We also have under our PCNA umbrella Bullet. And Bullet is our value line, if you will. Bullet's housed in Miami. And typically your wheelhouse under $20 or $25 or so. Super deep inventory. A lot of trendy products, right? So people like new and, what can I give away at a trade show that's going to be hot and have a good ROI. A lot of inventory and a lot of quick turns at Bullet. We also have Journalbooks, which is our custom made to order stationery product. So almost all made in the USA products. It's our secret weapon. They're housed out of Charlotte, and they have an amazing customer service and creative sales team. They're really here to take you through the creative process of a sale. Some people don't realize how hard it is to really go through the sales cycle when you start with a blank slate. But Journalbooks is here to help you through everything from the creative portion and the concept of selling all the way through the end of the sales cycle. and they're semi-custom, right? So you're taking, custom color graphic wraps and different things that you can add to make a product custom, which is awesome. We also have Trimark, which is our apparel brand. And so Trimark started as a Canadian company. So we do have a facility in Toronto, as well as we ship out of Pittsburgh for our apparel too. We're a little bit different on our apparel collection. So we typically have a smaller product line than some of the apparel distributors that you buy from every day. But we do in-house decoration, and that's really our bread and butter. So you can get really cool decoration methods like laser and deboss on our apparel pieces, a lot of strong inventory, great program pieces as well. Almost all of our products have a ladies comparable piece, so you can really sell to your customer with confidence. And then our secret sauce that kind of ties it all together, which is, our in-house kitting capabilities. So if you wanted to kit an apparel piece with a hard goods piece, you can do that through leads. If you wanted to add a packaging component, we have a program called Perfectly Packaged that allows you to custom print a box. You can put your promotional products in there and then drop ship it to your customer. All of those types of services that elevate us in the selection of your promotional product suppliers and really make doing business easy.
You covered so many things, and I've got so many other questions that I want to just ask, but I think that's great. So first, while we're talking about Trimark, they're in Canada. So our Canadian members, can they get items
Absolutely.
FOB Canada?
Absolutely. So we've got a production facility in Toronto. It's actually in Richmond Hills. You're more than welcome to visit the site. We can help coordinate that if you're close. But we started as a Canadian company. We love our Canadian distributors. We also run trucks to and from Pittsburgh every day. So it makes buying hard goods a lot easier as well. And so absolutely, we do a phenomenal apparel business in Canada. And that's really the flagship of that Trimark brand with the Canadian presence.
Well, you mentioned crossing borders, so I've got to ask. You talked about inventory, and you've got a lot of inventory, especially in your Value Bullet brand. What about tariffs and, how is that whole situation going to be affecting our distributor members buying through PCNA?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great question. It's a topic that we have done our best to address, and like every other supplier in the industry or most of your top suppliers. So we are working with the quickest communication that we possibly can in an ever-changing environment. We are doing our best to do a couple of things to mitigate that. And we've had an outside mainland China strategy since pre-COVID and trying to mitigate some of the manufacturing outside of China, something that is inevitable for us and especially imported products and so forth like that. But we're in the same boat as many of the other suppliers in the industry too. It's a tough place to be, but we're here to work with our distributor partners to provide things like made in the USA categories and products and, work with the deep inventory position that we have right now to mitigate and hold as long as we possibly can in this very ever-changing environment.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you've been working towards getting your goods manufactured in a lot of different places. I think that's just smart business in the environment we've had since COVID.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So decoration, you mentioned some of the different decorations available through Trimark. Just across the board, I'm sure with your hard goods apparel, there's all different types of decorating methods that are available. Shed a little bit of light on how that works with PCNA and what's available.
Absolutely. So first and foremost, if you do not have any decorating assets as a distributor and you have not been to a factory or facility tour, that is one of the things that I 100% absolutely recommend is to visit a supplier near you to see the process. It's really amazing. It's something that we put all of our new hire trains through the training program so they can see where the magic happens and really understand on the back end, how a product goes from being this blank good into being a decorated finished good. Regarding the specific decoration methods, we really separate a little bit by location. So it's dependent on, which products are decorated where and, the types of products. We do everything from embroidery to silkscreen to digital decoration, which I'll talk a little bit about in a minute, as well as laser and deboss. And ultimately, the type of product and the material of the product determines how it's decorated. So it's really interesting. I talked a little bit about our product development team. that works for PCNA, many of these product developers have a merchandising background, and many have worked in consumer products
Good.
and retail. But when you hop over to the promotional product industry, it's a totally different ball game because all of the products that are in this industry are intended to be imprinted, right? And so you do things,
Right.
especially with retail brands, where typically you've got a left chest logo. You're working with brands to perhaps relocate that logo so you can get that end user logo front and center. The same with hard goods products. You have to have not only a space to decorate it, but the material has to be conducive to decorating as well. So it's really cool to see the different types of decorations and the engineering and the processes, the behind the scenes to take a product to life, because imprint is by far one of the most forefront things, combined with trends and is this product cool? Is there demand for it? And all of these things that go into making a product, which is really, really fascinating as you think about from a sourcing perspective. I talked a little bit about digital decoration, and I'm going to spend a minute on it because I think it's an opportunity in the industry right now. Really, since I would say the last 10 years or so, since eco has been ESG, CSR, all those things to make sustainability a forward practice. I would say largely your decorators, suppliers, and decorators alike have tried to find ways to be more efficient in decorating. And in the hard goods space, particularly, one of the simplest, it was not simple, but one of the ways it's had the most impact is digital decoration. These are things like direct to item printing and CMYK printing and so forth that are applicable in a lot of categories, such as drinkware and bags and technology products. They adhere very well, but it's been a really interesting shift in our business, moving a lot of your, I'll say old school decoration methods, but really methods that are tried and true in our industry, like silkscreen, and moving them over into digital. Number one, it's more efficient, it's more cost effective. So we've even passed cost savings along to our distributor by moving some of that decoration to digital. Number two, is simply better for the environment. It's faster, and it holds up a little bit better, right? So
Right.
if you think about, your third, fourth, fifth color in a logo, we're having to burn a screen and wash the screen and, use all of the water and waste and so forth. Digital has just completely transformed our business. And I know a lot of the industry's business into being a more efficient and more effective decoration method.
Well, it sounds like you guys have been keeping up with the ever-changing technology, and technology it can be a complex subject matter. But how has PCNA made technology applications that make the lives of distributors easier? And this could be anything from ordering to marketing.
Yeah, we could probably spend an entire session on this. Digital transformation is something that I think makes PCNA a little bit different from some of the other suppliers in the space. I believe one of the industry rankings came out a couple years ago that ranked on innovation, and PCNA ranks very high on this scale. So it's a couple of different things, and I'll try to group them, if you will. So
Sure.
first, using technology with order processing and leveraging AI. So what's interesting in our space, we still have people who physically key orders in. And you think about this industry that has, I don't know, the latest 30,000, 40,000 distributors, where we're receiving emails of POs that all look different. And so when you think about having to train a customer service rep or an order processor to be able to input POs correctly and, adding a component or complexity of decoration, it's very challenging. So we've leveraged AI essentially to make the order process a little bit easier.
Interesting.
It's crazy. So we even receive, I'm sure distributors are the same thing, but we'll still get POs that are written on napkins.
Yes.
Right?
Spur of the moment. Got to
Ex-
get that order out.
Exactly. Which we take those orders too, just as I'm sure the distributor partner does as well, right? But we have tools and technology that are powered by AI to help generate that into a more readable PO for faster ingestion, more accurate details, and so forth like that. So I would say that's something that may not be on the forefront of every distributor's mind when they're placing an order, but it's something that we think about how to reduce the complexities in our industry. We have really awesome marketing tools that are fueled by digital technology as well. So we recently launched a program called Brand Books. And what this is that the distributor can actually send us their end user logos, and we can then leverage AI to put that in a catalog. So you're looking at a catalog with your end user's logo without having to do, custom photography or, putting in, the virtuals or mock-ups together in something that's turnkey, and we offer it at no charge. And so really,
That's great.
yeah, it's super cool. It's been very well received, and I would say it's the quickest way, probably the most efficient way to get new things out to your customer with their specific customized logo on the product, and showing in different methods, which is really, really cool.
And that's something that's easily found on the website.
You can leverage your account manager or the customer service team
Okay.
at PCNA. You can request a brand book, and all you need really is the end user logo. Black and white version, totally fine. Vector logo is fine. And our turn time typically a couple of days, but we'll send that back to you as we get them. So it's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
very cool.
members, you heard it. Emily wants you to get those brand books going. So
Yeah,
let's
absolutely.
let's get our team very busy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the last element of digital that I'll chat about, and we were laughing before, in that this probably needs its own session. We recently, within the last couple of years, launched a tool called Givey, and Givey is a storefront platform to the distributor that costs no money to set up the store, no money to launch the store, and essentially enables print on demand. And so what I mean by print on demand, the print on demand industry is a little bit different than the promo industry. And so we all kind of think of it something, different terms, but typically it usually means minimum order quantities of one and
Right.
automatic order ingestion, meaning that you're not having to touch the order or submit the order every time that you have an order come in. And so we recognized this need in the industry, in the space. We knew that it was coming, from a trend standpoint. So we launched Givey. It's proprietary to us, and it enables a catalog of about 600 items from PCNA, of PCNA's catalog of about 2,500 items. And the distributor, you have the ability to set up the store for your end user, either as a redemption scenario, meaning your end user will not pay anything, perhaps for a sales meeting or for a, hey, thanks so much for your, service to the employer. Here's an anniversary gift, that sort of thing, as well as an e-commerce setup as well. So meaning a program
Right.
or company store where you can set the store up for your end user can then pay for the store. Very cool stuff. It's been really cool, but ultimately it solves the challenge of minimum order quantities of one in the hard goods
Yes.
space, as well as, different product categories that are available.
So for members listening, I've seen a demo of Givey, and that's Givee. If you're looking for it online, it's a really amazing platform. I'd recommend, if members are hesitant about doing company stores, this I think would be a very easy way for them to get into this space. But I'm sure a lot of members are hearing, this is not going to cost me anything. How do you make that work?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm going to share my screen in a second if that's okay. But ultimately,
Please do.
yeah, for sure. So ultimately, print on demand is priced a little bit different. So you pay more in the front end of a good versus the inventory and so forth. So you'll notice a difference in price from when you're looking at an item on PCNA versus an item through Givey. And I'll show you an example of that in a minute. But the option to source the item exists in both scenarios. If you have a customer who wants to order bulk, great. You would order from PCNA as you normally would. You get that bulk discount, etc. If you want to set up a store for a customer who maybe wants to buy 24 in the next quarter and they want to do it ad hoc, just at will, great. You can also do that. We will fulfill in quantities of one. You just pay a little bit more for that good on the upfront
Right.
of that. And you are able to charge your end user appropriately as well. So with that, I will share my screen on how to find Givey.
Sure.
So when you're on PCNA's homepage, that's www.pcna.com, you'll see the services tab over here on the navy navigation bar. When you click that, there's a tab called Givey Select. That accesses this little Givey page, if you will. When you click learn more, it'll take you to our pop out at getgivey.com. And I'll show you a little bit about what the store looks like from the front end that your customer sees and what it looks like on the back end so you can get a feel for that as well. But right here on the front page, you'll see the headlines: free stores, no order minimums, and you can enable personalization on that item specifically because we fulfill quantities of one.
That's excellent that personalization is also available through the store.
Absolutely. So when you register an account with Givey, which you do need to go through that process, you can begin creating stores. I'll follow up with a demo store as well, a link to a demo store that you can then share with your customer. But it has access, or gives you access as the admin of the login, to see your sales per store. You can go in and configure your store, add products, change products, all of that good stuff. But I'll take you to an e-commerce store that we have a demo for, the Silver Palm store. And ultimately what it looks like when you set it up is this really nice configured store. So you own the merchandising as the distributor of this store. Perhaps they want to use different logos. You'll see this make it your own button right here, which essentially means the product can be personalized, that we could talk about. And right here, you can actually go in and add the personalization directly to the product. So it'll be,
Excellent.
yep, it's lasered, so it's hard to see, but when you switch the color of the product,
Much easier to see.
exactly, exactly. So it's a very cool tool. Again, it's, in a landscape, especially we see this. I mean, we've seen stores from, $10 all the way up to, six-figure stores in a number of different case studies. But
Right.
back to the point of how do we make your lives easier? We've got a ton of resources available. And we have an entire Givey team that will help you set up a store. But we intended with the platform to make it self-service, to where you can go in and create the store for your customer. Takes less than 5 minutes. We also have case studies and so forth that you can use marketing directly from, as well as PDFs that you can integrate within your presentations with your end users, as well as different videos too. So
Absolutely.
a lot of different tools to enable selling that online store platform to a customer.
So, I mean, we could go on and on about Givey, and I just want to encourage our members watching this. If you would be interested in seeing a longer demo of the ins and outs of starting company stores with PCNA, please let us know, and I'm sure we can get Emily to take some time and make that happen. But I'd encourage members. We have heard for years, company stores has been on everybody's radar. If they're not already doing it, they know that they should be doing it. And this would be a great way to get started. And it's very, very easy to do it at no cost to you.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely. One more pro tip, if I can slip it in with Givey, it's a free tool. So the worst that can happen is that you try to sell something and somebody says no. So my recommendation to your distributor sales reps is go through the process, set up a store for your end user, put 1 or 2 items in there, and then launch that store for that end user. Maybe even without them saying, hey, I want a store. It's a great sales tool to open up the
Yeah.
conversation around programs and how they leverage online capabilities with their brand.
Right. And we've talked about this before, Emily, but a distributor that wants to get their foot in the door with a prospect, what better way than to set up a meeting and say, oh, by the way, I made you a company store with your brand. What do you think?
Exactly. Any trade shows as well, any meeting like that, right? If it has you set it up with their logo, you can even go through the process of redeeming a gift. It's going to cost you, whatever the cost of the item is per se and the shipping cost. But ultimately, if it's a prospect on your list, the cost of that is going to be minimal compared to the business that
Right.
you receive in return.
Well, that's a great tip for marketing. And that leads me to ask, what other marketing tools do you have at PCNA that makes distributors' lives easier? I think that's the theme of our episode today.
Yeah, definitely. I'm actually going to pop back to my screen share and hopefully it's shares for sure this time.
There we go.
We do a lot from a marketing standpoint and making a distributor's life easier. So I'm gonna show you a couple of different tools and tabs on this website. So first and foremost, when you go to our homepage, pcna.com, there's this really cool thing called buying events. We'll change this ever so slightly, but essentially it gives you a calendar view of some of the opportunities to get in front of your customers with. That then links back to specific products. So you can download flyers, you can customize those flyers and so forth like that. But the buying events tool is really, really helpful. Also, you'll see different things under tools. So again, that buying events is right here. We do an awesome series that's won industry awards called Product of the Week. It gives it basically a favorite product, if you will, and how to sell it, why to sell it. We have virtuals directly from our website that are free, that are really awesome as an entire view of all of the catalogs and flyers that PCNA does that can be customized with your distributor logo. You can download it, you can integrate it, you can send it via email or integrate it in presentations. It really doesn't matter to us how you do it, but we regularly update these, usually every week. The other cool thing that we do, and this will be my last soapbox, but the Knowledge Center tab up here on the website is
Right.
very cool. So if you are apprehensive about a category or perhaps you even want to learn more, we've created knowledge centers specific to our biggest categories, the industry's biggest categories, as well as decoration, for you to completely go in and really immerse yourself. So this is the Apparel Knowledge Center. You'll see all of our decoration methods that we offer, as well as a little bit of a selling process behind or how to leverage it. It links to all of those products that have that decoration capability,
Right.
industry terms, all of these different types of opportunities, perhaps sample kits. It's a really cool space for you to visit. It's a great tool for new hires or perhaps somebody who's new to the industry to understand terminology. What does it mean? What is the difference between waterproof and water resistant?
Right. I found out that the hard way.
Hopefully there was a rainstorm. Hopefully there wasn't a rainstorm involved, but they are very different.
Yeah, water resistant is not waterproof. Well, you mentioned virtual samples. What other sample programs do you have, whether it's spec samples or self promo?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do discounted sell promos. So sell promos, 50% off non-retail products and non-tech products, as well as 25% off those retail brands and technology products. We also offer spec samples on discount as well. I was actually just going to we have a really cool spec program as well, and I was just going to see if I could find it, but we do an all-in spec sample program that allows you to buy all-in decorated pieces at a flat rate, including ground shipping. So
Oh, that would be very handy.
oh man, it's awesome. I would say it's one of our best kept secrets, if you will. We do it in all of our categories. So we pick the best sellers within each category and then create the spec sample for it. I will definitely follow up with it. I can't find it right this second, but
Oh,
uh
that's okay.
yeah, for sure. So it's, different price points. So that's another great option. We offer discounts on blank samples as well as free virtuals as well.
Okay. We talked a lot about a lot of different things,
We did.
but I'm just going to ask you. You've been at PCNA for a while. Right now, what's your favorite product?
Oh man, this is so hard. So I am really into like the drinkware brands who've created coolers. They're much more fashion forward. So if I had to pick one, I would say I really like this Hydro Flask cooler.
Right.
Um, it is item number 160110. That's the tote as well as the cooler 1601-11. They're like a really fashionable looking tote, but it's a cooler bag. It just is a little bit nicer and easier to carry around than a hard-sided cooler. I really like those products that are coming from those drinkware brands right now.
Excellent. Well, if nothing else, you have that to get started on if you're watching
Absolutely.
this. I would encourage your members to spend some time on the website. Please reach out to your customer service reps. Go to the private member page for PCNA to know exactly who to talk to. But please reach out. They're looking forward to hearing from you. And it sounds like whether it's help with designing products, customization, you've got a team that's ready to help our members.
Absolutely. And that's all we can ask for is the opportunity to earn business from you. We really appreciate our partnership. We're excited to jump off at this point and we're looking forward to working together and solving some problems and making some money together.
Okay, but before we go, can you think of anything else that our members need to know about PCNA?
I don't. I think that, this time has been really good. I'm looking forward to getting to know the
Okay.
members, especially in different parts of where they are in the business, whether you're an experienced distributor or just starting out. I think, there's a starting point and jumping off point for all of us. And we're looking forward to getting to know each other.
Emily, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And please, members, let us know if you want to know more about anything that we talked about today, whether you want to see an extended Givey demo or anything like that. Please reach out and let us know, and we'll make it happen. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you so much, Marty. I appreciate it.
This episode is brought to you by WePromo, the game-changing buying group for promo distributors. We're here to help you save big by scoring top-notch discounts with the best suppliers in the industry, and joining is totally free. Ready to boost your margins? Check out WePromo.net to explore our supplier lineup and see what we're all about.